Off Track looks at imported Kaliber non-alcoholic premium brew from the brewers of Guinness. Contains less than 0.5% of alcohol by volume. It's a malt beverage to serve ice cold. I don't have it ice cold, but I have it pretty darn cold. Kaliber delivers all the great taste of a premium import. We'll see about that. Fully brewed and fully fermented with less alcohol than beer. Okay, brewed in Great Britain under license of Diageo of Ireland. So I don't know where Runcorn, United Kingdom is. I don't know if it's in Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, or Wales, but it's somewhere in that United Kingdom. From 1919 until 1933, when they had the ridiculous U.S. prohibition laws outlawing all alcoholic beverages, this is what all the companies, in the strong south wind, all the companies were brewing near beer. And so people had to so-called, they had to illegally make their own beer or get smuggled beer. They were taking something that was not a crime, and the U.S. government was making it into a crime. There's a lot of particulate matter, very tiny, that is visible here, typical for a bright sun like today. No clouds in the sky, thick white head, and a golden appearance. Okay, so it looks like a regular old beer. Let's check out the aroma. The last time I drank a near beer was, I guess, 1995. And I think it was Sharps or O'Doul's, one of those. I didn't like it. Just didn't taste right. And this smells like those. It's like a grain, a pungent grain, but I don't know. It's not a bad smell, but it doesn't smell like beer. It isn't beer, so let's go with the flavor. Same thing I remember from 19 years ago. Sweet, syrupy type thing. Thin, watery mouthfeel and a semi-wet. It's drinkable. Finish. It's like a lot of these type of things: decaffeinated coffee, artificial sweetener, diet food, like low calorie, reduced fat food. It never tastes right. Even light beer, in a way, falls into that category. It's just something wrong with it, and because it's like adjusted, right? Like they take Old Milwaukee and they adjust it to make Old Milwaukee Light, so it doesn't taste as good. Or they take Busch beer and they make Busch NA, which I haven't tried yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be the same thing. Well, if you have a drinking problem, like, I don't like to use the word alcoholism, and a lot of psychologists don't like that word either, because you're taking a bad behavior pattern and you're turning it into some sort of like disease that you can't conquer. But the modern psychologists, they prefer the term problem drinking, right? People that drink too much, they get out of hand with it, they go overboard, and they, years ago, decades ago, they came up with that term alcoholism, which sort of like, in a way, it's like taking the responsibility off of you. It's saying, it's not my fault, I have a disease. A disease is something like leukemia or, heart trouble, high blood pressure, blocked arteries. That's a disease, right? You caught it or you acquired it. Whereas problem drinking is a behavior issue, mostly. Could have psychological roots also, but it can be cured, or it can be modified, right? Some people have gone from problem drinking, so-called alcoholism, back to acceptable drinking patterns or normal drinking. It doesn't, a lot of times it doesn't have to be one or the other. I've talked to people that are alcoholics, recovering alcoholics, and it's sad because they'll go around all the time talking about, I don't drink, and I don't, and they just go on and on and on about it, and you're thinking, I don't think they really got over the problem, because and sometimes they're like worse to be around after they recovered. It's like a unsettled thing. I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but it's sort of like they got around the problem, but they didn't deal with the problem, right? But anyway, if you have a drinking problem and you want to stay away from alcohol for whatever reason, or a health problem, right, like you can't have it, this might be something okay to have. I mean, it's not bad. It tastes all right. But there's some paperiness too. It doesn't really taste good. I was doing those dessert wines for the off track, but I was telling my daughter, I said, I don't really like wine. I know Jesus turned water into wine, and so wine can't be bad, right? It's a holy, well, I mean, it's a neutral thing, right? It's neither good or bad. It's just wine, but I mean, it was used for holy purposes, right? So, but and I know there's great love and a whole world of wine, and I'm not disparaging that, and maybe I could learn to appreciate wine one day, or liquor, but right now I'm all caught up in the beer thing. So, but I mean, this is all right. If you want to drink it, I mean, I'm going to try to do once a month different near beers and see what they're like, but I don't like it. I'll finish it, but I ain't going to enjoy it. Thank you for watching this video production.